If you're moving to Pittsburgh and shopping for a home between 500 and 600,000, I need to warn you about something before you start comparing houses. The property taxes you see online today may not be the same property taxes that you see once you purchase the home. And here's where it gets really interesting. You could be looking at two homes, both priced at 600,000, one showing considerably lower taxes. You might automatically think, well, obviously house A is cheaper to own. Not necessarily. One of the first things I want to know is, when was the last time each house sold? Because if one family has owned the home for 25 or 30 years, it may have a really old assessment. And that old assessment may be considerably below today's market value. The other house may have sold much more recently and may have already gone through a reassessment. So that second house with the higher taxes today actually could end up costing you less in the future. Meanwhile, that first house with those beautiful low taxes, that one might have a potentially much bigger adjustment. And this is just one of those Pittsburgh things that I really want my relocation clients to understand before they buy. So today I'm going to explain how property taxes work in the Pittsburgh area, why two houses at the same exact price can have completely different tax bills, and what that 50% number you might have been hearing about actually means. We'll also talk about the hidden local taxes that blindside out-of-state buyers. And most importantly, I'm going to show you how I evaluate a property so that my buyers can make sure they are making a smart decision before they write the offer. I'm Krista Lorenzo with Coldwell Banker Realty, and if you're new here, welcome. On this channel, we talk about what it's actually like to live, work, buy, sell, and have fun here in Pittsburgh, PA. And if you're considering relocating here, subscribe, because there are a lot of little things about Pittsburgh real estate that aren't obvious when you're sitting in another state looking at houses online. Property taxes are definitely at the top of that list. So let's get into it. Why are Pittsburgh property taxes so confusing? First, there's no single Pittsburgh property tax. When people say they're moving to Pittsburgh, they could mean the City of Pittsburgh, dozens of surrounding communities. Allegheny County alone has 130 separate municipalities and 43 distinct school districts. We have cities, boroughs, and townships. And your real estate tax bill is actually three separate bills: county, municipality, and school district. Those rates vary considerably depending where the property sits. So you could literally drive down the street and cross a municipal border and be in a completely different tax situation. That's why when someone calls me and says, Krista, we're moving to Pittsburgh, we have $550,000 budget, where should we live? My answer isn't always a cookie cutter list of 5 neighborhoods. I want to know how you want to live, where you're working. Are you commuting every day or working from home? How much house do you want? Do you want newer construction or historic charm? Do you want a walkable neighborhood near restaurants? Do you want easy access to the airport? Because $550,000 buys you very different lifestyles across Pittsburgh, and property taxes are one of the major pieces of that equation. Here's the big mistake. When you're looking at a house online, you'll usually see a property tax amount. It's very easy to think, okay, that's what I'll pay. Don't necessarily think that. That number tells us what the current owner is paying based on the property's current assessment. It does not tell you what you could ultimately pay. And to understand that, we need to talk about assessments. Assessed value is not sales price. Allegheny County uses a base year assessment system. That means a house selling for $600,000 does not automatically have an assessment value of $600,000. You might find a $600,000 house, pull up the county real estate portal, and see an assessed value of $175,000. And you're thinking, what is happening here? Welcome to Pittsburgh. Here's the key legal detail. In Pennsylvania, counties are legally prohibited from performing automatic spot reassessments just because a property changed hands. The county assessor doesn't simply walk in the day after a closing and change your tax bill. So how do taxes actually go up? It's called an assessment. When your sale records, local school districts monitor these deed transfers. School taxes make up the largest portion of your overall property tax bill. When a school district sees a property sell for $600,000 that has an assessment of $150,000, that's a massive gap in tax revenue. Many school districts have specific policy thresholds. For instance, they might file an appeal on every sale where the difference between the current assessment and the sales price creates a potential tax increase of $1,000 or more. Other districts might only appeal luxury price points, and some rarely appeal at all. So it's not just the house. We need to check the assessment behavior for that specific school district. So let's look at two $600,000 houses. Let's pretend we're touring homes. We've narrowed down your search to two properties. House A has a sales price of $600,000 and it's been owned by the same family for 30 years. Its current assessment is $150,000 and we can see the taxes online. They're incredibly low. You look at House A and you think, this is an amazing deal. But hold on, before we celebrate, let's look at that risk profile for a reassessment. That assessment might be 3 decades old. The gap between the current assessment and today's market value could be massive. That school district is almost guaranteed to file an appeal shortly after you close. Then we have House B, also $600,000, sold 3 years ago for about $540,000. It has already been reassessed and the current assessment is $275,000. The taxes are higher than House A. At first glance, House A looks like it's a bargain. In reality, House B gives us far more certainty. Its valuation was already updated recently. The gap between its assessment and current market value is narrow, meaning the likelihood and severity of another appeal is dramatically lower. So we can't just ask, what are the taxes today? We have to ask, what could they become? Now, what's this 50% number? Okay, so how am I talking about the assessment being in the 200s when the house is selling in the 600s? If you've been researching Allegheny County taxes, you've probably heard Common Level Ratio, or CLR. In assessments, Pennsylvania uses the CLR to equalize older base year assessments with today's actual market value. For tax year 2026, Allegheny County's CLR is 50.14%. For 2027, they have announced 49.3%. So that means your home is assessed at roughly half of the market value. That does not mean that the county just cuts the value in half automatically at closing. It means that if the school district wants to reassess and establishes your purchase price of $600,000 as fair market value, and we have that 50% ratio, $600,000 multiplied by roughly 50% gives us a new assessment of $300,000. So when I help you figure out that new tax bill, we're going to figure it out on about $300,000 multiplying by the local millage rate. If that monthly payment still looks good, that's the one. You can buy with confidence. So what is millage? A mill is the local tax rate. $1 of tax for every $1,000 of assessed value. If your total combined millage across county, municipality, and school district is 32 mills, and your assessed value is $300,000, 300 multiplied by 32 equals $9,600 for property taxes per year. Each municipality and school district sets its own millage, so that identical $600,000 home in different suburbs can carry drastically different annual taxes. There are 2 hidden taxes that relocation buyers might miss. When you're moving from out of state, property taxes aren't the only local taxes that you need to factor in. There are 2 other major numbers that you need to know. The first of these is the real estate transfer tax. When you close on a home in Pennsylvania, there is a transfer tax paid at closing. In most of Allegheny County suburbs, Washington County, the total transfer tax is 2% of the purchase price, typically split between buyer and seller. So your share is usually about 1%. Now in the City of Pittsburgh, the transfer tax is 5%. That means that typically split equally in 2.5% to each side. So on that $600,000 house, that's $15,000 in transfer tax. That can be $9,000 to $12,000 higher than buying in an adjacent township. So it's important to know that number. The other number I want you to remember when it comes to taxes is local earned income tax. Pennsylvania municipalities collect a local earned income tax on W-2 and wage income. In most suburban townships and boroughs, that rate is 1%. In the city of Pittsburgh, that rate is 3%. If your household earns $400,000 a year, living inside the city means you're paying an extra $8,000 in local income tax compared to most surrounding suburbs. These aren't reasons to avoid the city, just something you need to be aware of. Remember, you're getting incredible architecture, culture, and walkability. They are simply numbers that you must know so that you don't have any surprises. The homestead exclusion and Act 1 relief. If your home will be your primary residence, make sure you apply for the homestead exclusion after closing. Allegheny County offers an $18,000 reduction on assessed value for the county portion of your tax bill. And most local school districts participate in Pennsylvania's Act 1 property tax relief, funded by state gaming revenues. This provides an additional property tax credit directly on your tax bill for approved primary residents. It won't cut your taxes in half, but it could save a couple $100 every year. And it's free to apply. So what do you need to know before you write an offer? When you find a house you love in the Pittsburgh area, follow this 5-step checklist. Check the current assessment. Check the sales history. When did it last sell? Has it been appealed recently? Has it been reassessed recently? Know the taxing bodies. What are the exact county, municipal, and school millage rates for that specific address? Check the full picture. Factor in local transfer taxes, local earned income tax, and school district assessments. If the numbers still work, you can submit your offer with peace of mind. And last, model conservatively. Calculate what the taxes would look like if it reassessed at 50%. My philosophy with real estate is simple. I'm not here just to open doors and help you pick out countertops. I want you to understand exactly what you're buying and what your true cost of living will be. Taxes, transfer costs, municipal services, commute time, school districts, sewer lines, neighborhood character, they all work together. If you're planning a move to Pittsburgh, reach out. Let's talk about what you're looking for, how you want to live. Let's run the numbers. Be sure to subscribe and tap that bell for living in Pittsburgh for honest, practical guides to neighborhoods, housing, and life in Western Pennsylvania. I'm Krista Lorenzo with Coldwell Banker Realty. I'm your girl for all things Pittsburgh, and I'll see you in the next video.